Hello everyone, my name is Nate Kap and welcome to my 4th episode of Outcasting, where I'll be sharing bits of science towards freedom. And today I'm out on the river again. It's a beautiful day, sitting here on a log and some rocks, some boulders. And I wanted to share with you something that I find to be highly controversial, something that I find to be very misunderstood, and it's something that I think we should all try to deeply understand, this topic, which is truth. And I know there's a lot of people out there, I've actually heard people say this, that there's no such thing as truth and truth does not exist. And I always ask them, okay, well, is that the truth? Is it the truth that truth itself does not exist? And, it's a fair, logical question. So, using the scientific tool of logic, we then can realize that quickly this claim of there being no such thing as truth is a logical fallacy, because if you say that there is no such thing as truth, you are saying that it is the truth that truth itself does not exist. So it is so important that we understand this, so that way we can get past it and start to unravel the things that hold truth from our eyes. And it's about being honest. It's about having our shoshin, the beginner's mind, and trying to make sense of everything logically, because logic is about helping us find the truth. So, truth is that which is. Now, a lot of people, including myself, when I first started to try to wrap my head around this simple concept, it's hard to simplify the brain because the ego wants to overcomplicate everything. The ego wants to run away from truth. And I'm talking about the ego that is, the executor, the higher, the ego that is running the mind. And because of this, it is very hard to understand how truth itself could be so simple, or be that which is. So, to explain this in the most simple way that I can, I would say that if you look at this river, all right, for example, this river is that which is, all right? This beanie is that which is. The sky is that which is. And that's because it's the truth that this is the beanie. The truth is that's, the river, the water. The truth is that's the sky, right? Now, what would be the opposite of that? It would be that which is not. So this beanie is not underwear. This river is not lava. The sky is not the ground. And that's not based on perception. That's, obviously my perception is it's aligning with that which is, okay? So it's important to understand that which is simple, because truth is simple. Everything is. All is. The whole universe is. So, that being said, all is truth. All is simple. It's simple. So that's how we understand truth in a simple way. Now, truth itself is not based on our perceptions, which are capable of wavering. So basically, subject to change. It can be changed. Our perceptions can be changed. Our opinions can be changed. The way we see things can be changed. So truth itself can't be changed. It's unwavering. And when you hear someone say my truth or your truth, what they don't understand is they're really saying my opinion or my perception and your opinion and your perception. So it's not a good idea to say my truth or your truth, because that means that there's two truths, which means only one of them can be true, or none of them really, because perception doesn't define truth. And that is why it's not a good idea to say my truth or your truth, because it's not true. There can't be two different truths. There can only be one truth, because truth is singular. Truth is objective. It's not subjective. It's not based on perception, okay? So now, truth is combative to lies. It's combative to disinformation. It's combative to what the ego wants to create to derail the truth, to cause comfort. Because that's what the ego does. The ego it's our survival mechanism that wants us to, live comfortably. But if we are avoiding truth, then we're co-creating a world of suffering, because what is not aligned in truth is not aligned in love. Because love is about honesty. Love is about truth. And the truth will always and forever remain the truth, regardless of what we say it is. And that's because it is here and now and what has happened in the past. So truth is about the presence. That's why it's singular, because the now is all that there is. And what has happened in the past is recorded in the Akashic record of the universe. So the truth remains. It remains always. It's singular. It's recorded, and it's happening at this present moment. So that's why it's so important that when we live in the present moment, we're living honestly. We're living truthfully. Now, obviously, when we talk about what has happened in the past, it's very hard to know what has happened in the past, because we, like it's already happened, and we have our perceptions of it. But what our perceptions are of the past does not change the past. It does not change what has actually happened. I know this is hard to wrap your head around if you are coming from a skeptical, left-brained prison where you have to just be skeptical about everything and think that there's because that's what the ego does. The ego wants to constantly try to tell the mind that there is not just one truth. It wants to tell the mind that life is complicated, which it is. Life is complicating. And we're trying to make sense of it, but we have to be open to the fact that there is an absolute truth. We have to understand the difference between objective reality and subjective reality. So subjective reality would be our perceptions. Objective reality is what is happening regardless of our perceptions, but it's something that our perceptions can align to. You see, it's interesting because it's difficult for our minds to wrap our heads around this, but once we do, then we realize how simple it really is. Now, before I get off here, I want to share with you how I came to understand truth a little better. That it's really interesting, and it's a very ancient symbol or archetype, and that is the round table. And so I want you to imagine that you're sitting at a table. It's a round table, okay? And in the middle of the table, there's a cup. Now, let's imagine you and me and 8 other people are sitting around this table. And we each are sitting equidistant to each other. And we're looking at this cup. Now this cup represents truth, okay? So each one of us sees our perception of this cup, but nevertheless, we're seeing a portion of truth. But we can't see the whole truth. And, excuse me. And because we can't see the whole truth, let's just imagine that there are rules. We can't get up out of our seat and move to see the rest of the cup. We can't see what's in the cup. But what we can do is we can talk to each other. We can communicate with each other. And we can even use different, like for instance, if someone on the opposite side of the table is taking notes of what they see, taking pictures, drawings, measurements, and then what you do is you ask for those measurements and drawings, and you exchange what you see on this side. Well, now you're starting to get a bigger picture of what it is on the other side of that cup. And eventually, let's just say that everybody is being, mostly honest, or just completely honest. That would be nice. And everybody shared what they are seeing on all sides of that cup with you. Well, then you would have a better understanding, a well-rounded, eclectic understanding of that cup, of the truth. It doesn't mean you're going to get the full picture of the truth or that cup, but it means that you're going to understand more of the sides. You're going to have a more well-rounded understanding of all sides of that cup, of all sides of the truth. And that's really what this is about, because it's about knowledge, it's about experience, it's about having gnosis, experience and knowledge, and being able to recognize that the only way to find the truth is to search and be honest, and look into the most difficult places, look into the places that are full of misinformation, and you will find the truth. As long as you're open, as long as you have your shoshin, you will discover what you're searching for. And I'm really hoping that this is helping people, because I find it to be very beneficial to understand this philosophy and this science, because if we are taking it serious, then we will discover so much more about ourselves. And we'll discover so much more about each other by understanding ourselves. Because it's about being honest with the self. It's about recognizing that, we're sovereign beings trying to free ourselves from our lower darkness, from our lower ignorance. And we do that by searching for truth. So this is very important information, and I'm going to be sharing more information about how to discover truth, how to find truth, especially with the trivium, the scientific method of the trivium. So definitely stay tuned for that. And if you have found value in this episode, please like, please share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you want to go further your understanding of this type of information or any other topics that I share, you can go to cubbyhole.com. And I will be back soon. So thanks for listening, and I will see you guys again later.